holiday gatherings often bring families together for memorable activities. The Jones family's choice to explore Nutty Putty Cave was meant to be one such memory, yet it tragically turned into an unforgettable loss. This is the heart-wrenching story of the Nutty Putty Cave disaster. Jon Jones was anticipating a joyful family adventure when they set off to Nutty Putty Cave, nestled in the Utah desert near Salt Lake City. While new to Nutty Putty, Jon, alongside his brother Josh, was no stranger to caving, having ventured into numerous Utah caves during their youth. With years of experience behind him, Jon felt confident in his caving abilities, though his adventures had dwindled due to his commitments as a married man, father, and medical student at the University of Virginia. His busy life left little room for such excursions. The Thanksgiving break was a welcome respite for Jon, a chance to unwind with family. Their plans included a day at Nutty Putty, known for being accessible to novice cavers. The cave offered various attractions, including the maze room with its network of tunnels and the slide, a sloped area assisted by a guiding rope. Most of Nutty Putty was well charted, presenting a mix of straightforward and challenging sections like the birth canal and the aorta crawl, notorious for their tight, demanding passages. Despite the known risks, cavers often found themselves caught in these narrow tunnels. Nutty Putty had been recently reopened to the public after a period of closure due to frequent incidents of cavers getting trapped. The cave's tight squeezes were manageable for some, but for others, the struggle against the unyielding rock proved futile, leading to serious rescue operations. New safety measures, including a permit system requiring at least 2 experienced cavers per group, had been implemented. Josh secured a permit for their group for November 24th, 2009, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Jon's wife, Emily, pregnant and caring for their 1-year-old daughter Lizzie, opted to stay behind with the in-laws for a quieter evening. The 11-member group initially explored the more open sections of the cave. Eventually, Jon, Josh, and 2 friends ventured towards the more challenging areas. They were particularly interested in the birth canal, a passage known for its tight squeeze, leading to a room where one could finally stand and turn around. Although aware of its potentially panic-inducing nature, they were determined to locate it. Jon and Josh chose a leftward passage, embarking on a 15-foot journey marked by undulating elevations and tricky squeezes. This section, known as the corkscrew, demanded agility and mental fortitude, requiring a caver to intricately maneuver their body through the constricting space. It wasn't just about brute force, it was a test of flexibility and patience. Beyond the corkscrew, the path ascended, then descended sharply with a 90-degree turn. This point had been a turnaround spot for cavers, a fact starkly highlighted 5 years earlier when 16-year-old Brock Clark, despite his smaller stature, became stuck here for 14 agonizing hours before being rescued. Jon, larger in size than Brock, realized turning around here was impossible for him. In a space barely a foot high, he lacked the room to maneuver. Pushing forward, Jon squeezed over a ledge, believing the tunnel ahead would offer a chance to turn around. Unbeknownst to Jon, he was now in uncharted territory, pushing forward with the belief that he was still within the mapped confines of the birth canal. As he progressed, Jon found himself in a precarious position, upside down, his strength waning against gravity's pull. He warned Josh not to follow, and after a brief discussion, decided to continue forward, seeking a way to right himself. He glimpsed a potential escape through a floor hole, fostering a hope that would soon turn dire. The circumstances leading Jon into his predicament remain unclear. He either slipped and wedged himself in a tight space or misjudged what he thought was an escape route. Jon was now trapped in an opening barely larger than a laptop screen, nearly fully upside down at a 70 angle. Efforts to free himself only wedged him deeper, his legs caught in an 8-inch wide section of the hole. Josh, retracing his brother's path, but feet first, eventually reached Jon, only to find a harrowing sight: Jon partially swallowed by the cave. Their attempts to free him proved futile, and the gravity of the situation became apparent. Professional help was needed. As Josh sought assistance, another family friend stayed with Jon, offering comfort in his upside-down entrapment. His shallow breaths, a struggle against the constricting fissure, marked the beginning of a grueling ordeal. Rescue efforts commenced with the arrival of cave rescuer Susie Matta around 12:30 a.m., 3 hours into Jon's entrapment. Navigating the corkscrew with more ease due to her size, Susie reached Jon, offering a glimmer of hope. Efforts to free him using webbing straps and external pulling were hindered by the tight space and friction. A pulley system, similar to the one used in Brock Clark's rescue, was the next strategy. However, the challenges of the narrow, twisting cave limited the rescue operation's progress. Equipment had to be transported through the tight passages, and only small-sized rescuers could work directly with Jon. Throughout the night, Jon, clinging to his faith, prayed and sang to find solace. The physical toll of his inverted position became increasingly evident as hours passed. The human body, ill-equipped for prolonged upside-down suspension, started to betray him. His breathing grew labored, his lucidity waned, and the rescuers felt a growing sense of despair and helplessness. As the rescue dragged into the next day, Jon's condition worsened. Attempts to move him with a pulley system were met with excruciating pain and minimal progress. The challenge of maneuvering his unresponsive legs in the confined space brought forth a desperate consideration, breaking his legs to facilitate extraction. The situation took a dire turn when rescuer Ryan Schertz was injured by a snapped pulley rope, requiring his immediate evacuation. Jon's condition deteriorated rapidly. He was not moving and unresponsive. Jon's father, Dave, replaced Ryan in the tunnel, but the rescue efforts were increasingly fraught with danger and difficulty. Dave, too, found himself temporarily stuck, a stark reminder of the perilous situation. Despite their best attempts, they could not free Jon, who remained unresponsive throughout. As the hours ticked by, hope faded. Jon's family, connected via a telecom system, expressed their love and support, unaware of the dire reality. Eventually, silence replaced Jon's struggling breaths, and a medical professional confirmed the heartbreaking conclusion. Jon Jones had passed away after an extraordinary 27 hours in an inverted position. The 6 rescuers who reached Jon in that treacherous cave displayed remarkable heroism, risking their own safety in a relentless attempt to save him. Their efforts, though ultimately unsuccessful, were a testament to human resilience and compassion. The Nutty Putty Cave, having claimed Jon's life, was sealed off permanently with concrete. A plaque was erected to honor Jon's memory, ensuring that his story would not be forgotten. The cave, now a sealed tomb, stands as a solemn reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the fragility of life.